We overpaid our mortgage by more than £50,000 in just 5 years. And in this video, I'm going to tell you exactly how we did it and how this one decision has given us a level of freedom we never thought possible, even before we are mortgage free. You see, for most people in the UK, a roof over your head is your single biggest expense. We're talking over 60% of the average household's budget. And when you look at the interest, it gets even crazier. On a typical 25-year mortgage, you could end up paying an extra £150,000 just in interest. In the first 5 years alone, that's usually around 40k. In our first 5 years, we paid just £12,500 in interest and knocked our mortgage down from £170,000 to under 6 figures. So if you're interested in how we engineered our finances to make this happen, what it's allowed us to do with our lives right now, and what our plans are for the future, then stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll understand the 3 key decisions we made that completely changed the game for us. So let's rewind to December of 2020. My partner and I were both working full-time in good jobs, and we were in a very fortunate position as dinks. That's double income, no kids. We had a decent amount of disposable income, and we knew we wanted to make it work for us. As the saying goes, make hay while the sun shines. Now, when we were looking for a property, we got approved for a mortgage that was much higher than what we actually borrowed. And this is the first and maybe the most important strategic decision we made. We could have bought a small house or a much fancier flat, and believe me, it was tempting, but we sat down and had a really honest conversation about what we valued more, a bigger property or less financial pressure. And for us, the answer was clear. We hate having recurring bills hanging over our heads, so we chose to buy this 2-bed flat. It's not our forever home, but we genuinely do love it. It's well soundproofed, we have a spare room for work, and this big open plan living space is perfect for how we live. By choosing not to max out our budget, we immediately put ourselves on the front foot. But there was another piece to the puzzle. How could we make sure our money was attacking the debt itself and not just getting eaten by interest? Before I tell you exactly how we structured the mortgage to do that, you need to understand the interest rate environment back then. Interest rates were at a historic low. We were looking at rates under 2%, and we had a strong feeling that they weren't going to get any lower. So we made our second key decision. Locking in that low rate was crucial. But here's the counterintuitive thing we did. Our third and final strategic decision, and it might surprise you. We chose the longest possible mortgage term of 40 years. I know it sounds mad, but here's the logic. A longer term means your minimum monthly repayment is as low as it can possibly be. Our mandatory payment was only around £500 a month. This was a psychological safety net. We knew that if life happened, if one of us lost a job or got sick, we could easily afford the minimum payment. It took all the pressure off, but we never intended to pay just the minimum. So we had our 3 pillars in place: a smaller loan, a low fixed interest rate, and a tiny minimum payment. This was our financial foundation. Our plan was to treat our mortgage overpayment like any other essential bill. So it wasn't spare cash at the end of the month. It was actually, to us, a non-negotiable fixed expense. We started out aggressively. In our first year, we were paying an average of £1,530 a month. And after that first year, we reassessed our other financial goals, like investing, and decided to find a more sustainable long-term number. We eventually settled on a consistent payment of £1,000 a month. So for the next 4 years, here's what we paid. And after 5 years, instead of owing around £155,000, our balance is now just 99k. Getting it under that 6-figure mark felt like a massive psychological win. But why? Why go to all this effort? Was it really just about saving on interest? Well, the simple answer to this is yes. We hate wasting money on interest. I get my mortgage statement every month and I can see the numbers plain as day. This month, of our £1,000 payment, about 170 was interest. We prefer to see it as £830 coming directly off our debt. But when I hear stories of people whose payments are maybe like £1,500 a month, but 1,000 of it is just interest, it's heartbreaking. So yes, saving thousands in interest was a huge motivator to us, but the real reason why is much deeper than that. My fiance and I are a team. We combined our finances way back in 2017, and we have complete trust and shared goals. One of our biggest shared goals is to one day have no mortgage or rent payment at all, to own our home outright. And pursuing that goal has had an incredible, unexpected side effect. It's given us freedom now. This is the most important part of the video. It might look like we've been sacrificing, living a restricted life to throw all our money at the mortgage, but we see it as the exact opposite. Because we kept our biggest fixed costs so low, it has empowered us to make life-changing decisions. For 2 years, my partner was able to drop down to a 4-day work week to have a better work-life balance. And then this past year, I was able to do something I'd never have even dreamt of doing before. I quit my full-time job. We went from 2 incomes down to 1 during the worst cost of living crisis in decades, and we were okay. We still continued to overpay every single month on our mortgage. That wouldn't have been remotely possible if we'd bought a bigger house. This path hasn't been about sacrifice, it's been about buying our freedom. It's the feeling of autonomy, of not being trapped in a job you hate just to pay the bills, and honestly, that feeling is priceless. Now, our 5-year fixed rate is coming to an end, and just like everyone else, we're facing much higher interest rates. Our best guess is that our interest rate will roughly double to about 4%. So the natural question is, what's the plan? Well, it's pretty simple. We're going to keep our monthly payment at £1,000. That means more of it will go to interest and less towards paying it off. But because we've been overpaying for 5 years now, our new normal payment won't actually feel any different to us as we've already built that muscle. We'll likely fix for another 5 years because we don't see ourselves moving in that time frame, but we do also have bigger plans. One day we dream of owning a house with a bit of land, a place we can be when we're ready to start a family, but we're in no rush. And right now, my focus is on building this channel and building my own business, trying to create a life where we can both work for ourselves. And the foundation we've built by aggressively paying down our mortgage is honestly what's making that dream feel possible. Oh, and there is one other short-term goal. We desperately want to get a dog. We even have a name picked out. But we're being patient, waiting until we know my work from home situation is permanent so that we can give it all the time and attention he or she deserves. So that's our story. It's been a 5-year journey of being intentional, working as a team, and defining what wealth really means to us. For us, it's about freedom, choice, and creating a life on our own terms. And I also know we are super fortunate to be in the position that we're in. I'm so proud and so elated to be able to say that we took a £170,000 debt, and through a clear strategy and consistent effort, we're on track to have it cleared decades ahead of schedule. And the freedom we've gained along the way has been already worth every single penny. I really hope that our story has been helpful or at least a little bit interesting. I'd love to hear what you think. What's the one big financial goal you're working towards right now? Let me know in the comments below. I would genuinely love to read them. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, giving it a like would be amazing. And if you want to follow along with our journey, especially as I try to build this new career, then please consider subscribing, and I'll see you in the next one.